wear the belt? Hard-hitting Jorge Eliecer Julio or the relatively unknown Oscar Maldonado?
Bueno, más que nada, ahí arriba del ring, va a ganar el que vaya mejor preparado. Los peleadores.
Most of all, the winner will be he who goes in best prepared. Jorge Julio Eliecer is a great fighter. I have seen him on video and in the ring. He is great, but when both of us are in the ring, the most prepared will win.
Tonight's title bout matches the WBO's two top contenders, the confident Julio and Maldonado in his first U.S. bout. The 36-1 Julio, a former WBA and NABO champ, is set on claiming a world title.
Uno porque me gusta y otro porque quiero conseguir.
First of all, because I love the sport. Secondly, because I want to continue to the top and obtain various world titles, if God gives me the opportunity.
This opportunity brings Julio toe-to-toe with the current NABO Bantamweight champ.
Bueno, me sentí contento porque yo sabía que ya iba a entrar a los 10 mejores.
Well, I was very happy because I knew I would enter the top 10 in the rankings. That title I owe to the public who supported me in Tijuana and in Señara. They supported me, so I dedicate this fight to them.
But
if Vaquero wants another belt, he'll have to get through this man. All right, here's Julio out of the dressing room. You can see him with the cap on, bouncing along as his handlers and trainers bring him into the ring here, the Great Western Forum. I noticed also, Rich, that while standing in the ring across the way, Maldonado has the NABO championship belt with him, so I would gather from that both are up for grabs tonight.
Well, I think he will retain his NABO championship.
So it's not on the line.
Right.
Why they would bring it into the ring just to display it, I guess perhaps that's all right.
Just to show it off, just to kind of show it to Julio when he comes in. See what I got?
Well, Julio said I used to have one of those, a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
And I plan to pick up another big one tonight.
And there is the once champion trying to become a world champion for the second time. Born in Magdalena, Colombia, lives now in Los Angeles, California. His last 6 fights have been promoted by Forum Boxing.
He's a big hitter, loves a good fight. He is not all that stylish as a boxer. If you want to stand there and bang with him, you're in for a busy evening, and he relishes every moment of it. So the two principals are in the ring, and so is famed ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr. Let's go up to the center of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we present our featured bout of the evening at this time, we ask you to rise for the singing of our national anthem. In the ring, presenting the colors, we have the U.S. Marine Corps Recruiting Station, Los Angeles. And to lead us here tonight, please welcome to the microphone our talented 11-year-old vocalist. How about a hand for Casey Simpson?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly singing, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that her flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you very much to Casey Simpson. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to our featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Forum Boxing Incorporated and Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers. now coming your way is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization. President is Francisco Valcarcel, Supervisor Luis Batista Salas. Along with the California State Athletic Commission, the chairman is Willie Buchanan. Presenting to you our judges scoring this bout from ringside, Marty Denkin, Vince Delgado, and Larry Rosadia. And introducing our referee in charge, working in this, his 46th world title bout, Raul Cais. Right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, it's time for the WBO Bantamweight Championship of the World, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Presenting to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with gold trim, he joins us from Ensenada, Baja California, Mexico. He weighed in at the bantamweight limit, 118 pounds even, with a record of 17 wins, 5 losses, and 2 draws. He has 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the WBO number 2 ranked bantamweight contender, introducing Oscar Pequeño Vaquero Maldonado. And introducing his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner in this WBO Bantamweight World Championship, wearing white trunks trimmed in the colors of Colombia, yellow, blue, and green. Fighting out of Montebello, California, by way of his home of Barranquilla, Colombia, he weighed in the same as his opponent, 118 pounds. His outstanding record includes 36 wins, only 1 defeat, 28 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the WBO number 1 ranked bantamweight contender, introducing Jorge Eliecer Julio. Once again, Raul Cais, our referee in charge, now to give instructions.
Ok, muchachos, ya les di sus instrucciones ahí abajo, ok? Háganme caso, el huesito aquí, para abajo es el golpe abajo. Dense la mano y buena suerte los dos.
All right, tail of the tape for these two men for the WBO Bantamweight title. Maldonado's 5'5", Julio's a half-inch taller. Both men in at the limit of 118 pounds. Maldonado just 19, Julio 9 years older, and in the reach department he has an advantage of 3 inches. The WBO rules, 10-point must system, winner of the round gets 10. 3 knockdown rule is in effect. No standing 8 count. Saved by the bell in the last round only. The referee or doctor can stop the fight. If the fight is stopped due to a headbutt, they'll go to the cards after 3 rounds. Raul Cais is the 3rd man in the ring. We're set to go. It's scheduled for 12, and there's the bell to bring him out for round number 1. '19-year-old Vaquero Maldonado. Interesting, Rich. Richard Maldonado is the man handling the career of Julio, and one of his sons, Oscar, is in the corner with Julio. So there's a lot of Oscar Maldonado going on out there tonight.
All right, as we take a look at Julio here in the white trunks just above our Fox Sports Net microphones, Julio is a clever guy who will stand and bang, as Tom alluded to, but he is very smart as well. He usually starts slow and comes on. He seems to get better as the rounds go by. He's a switch hitter. We might see him go to left-handed here tonight as well. His experience has been against just outstanding opposition, so he has been at the very top of his game. He does get hit now and then, but really, he has always had more than enough to overcome for his, if you could call it a weakness, that weakness. But he has been, I thought, since we've seen him in the last 6 fights, just as superb.
But he has the true mark of a champion, Rich, in that he can fall behind, lose rounds, and apparently be on his way to a defeat, and suddenly just reach back, find something extra, take charge of a fight, and if he doesn't win it by knockout, he wins it by decision. So he has that rare ability that really true champions do have.
And he's doing some things right now with Maldonado, Tom. He's taking steps to the left, maybe wide steps, feinting a little with his shoulders, with his gloves. He's trying to see right now how Oscar Maldonado reacts to certain feints and reacts to certain movements that he utilizes. And he's using this as a study round, at least right now.
Maldonado is the young man in the black trunks, trimmed in gold, and in the white, trimmed with yellow and blue, and even green from his native Colombia, is Jorge Julio.
Maldonado is very confident, very sure of himself, even against as great a fighter as Jorge Julio. I don't know if that's born really out of the ability he's shown, perhaps a little bit of foolhardiness. But
well, you never can tell, but he does.
We will find out.
He's got a real shot, and he's here trying to get the WBO title. He's the NABO champion at 118 pounds, and he thinks he'll go out of here with the belt he brought in and the one that is awaiting the winner of this bout tonight.
He landed a good left hook to the body of Julio there. He's an aggressive fighter. He will go to the body, and he likes to apply the pressure. However, he is inexperienced, remember, and he's only been past 8 rounds one time.
Well, maybe that's because he really hasn't had too much. Out of 17 wins, 12 knockouts, Rich. That's a very high percentage. And he's on a real roll, as you indicated. He's won 6 in a row. Won 11 out of his last 12. He's had 5 knockouts in a row. So he's moving along at a pretty fancy pace as he battles here for this championship tonight. Round 2 scheduled for 12 for the WBO Bantamweight title. Jorge Eliecer Julio is in the white trunks. And in the black trimmed in gold, Oscar Vaquero Maldonado. He's from Ensenada, Mexico, and Julio is from Colombia, now living in Los Angeles.
I think Julio used that first round as a study round, utilizing his feints, different body movements, head and shoulders, to see how Maldonado would react. And I think now he's coming out to try to pick up the pace here. Already, I think the action a little bit more brisk here at the start of round 2.
Raul Caiz is the third man in the ring. Judges around the ring. We've got Marty Denkin, former head of the California State Commission. Vince Delgado. Larry Rosadilla. Very short, chopping left hand, almost an uppercut thrown by Maldonado. Scored, and he nails Julio with another punch.
Yeah, that was an unusual punch from close range.
Yeah.
Just a short one. Nice little job.
He looks older than 19, doesn't he, Rich? Maybe the mustache does it.
He didn't wait long to turn pro.
12 years old, huh? Born of necessity, perhaps. Nice exchange by the two men.
He's getting to Julio, Tom.
Yes, he is.
We're seeing some surprising action here in round 2, but the kid, as I said, is born of a confidence here. The youthful confidence.
Yeah.
He feels that he's on a roll and he can do it. And he's going after Julio, and he's landed some good shots to him.
And Julio has, as you indicated, he might very well do a switch to the southpaw style, too. So you're liable to see anything in this one. And I think we hark back to our opening comments on the telecast tonight. Don't sell anybody short when they throw him in the ring here at the Great Western Forum. And now Julio goes back to the standard orthodox style. Antonio Curtis finds a way to find guys who love to fight, and he matches them up beautifully. I know we're honking our own horn, but I'm telling you, these are the most competitive fights you'll see on television. And tonight, I think, is going to bear that out. Win, lose, or draw for either one of these two men. Julio, of course, he's in the white as a prohibitive favorite. 9 years senior to this young man, and a man who's been in against almost every great fighter. But I tell you, Maldonado has hit him with some solid shots and has had him doing a little bit of a Texas tap dance out there, Rich.
And it's usually the left hook that is doing the damage by Maldonado. This is most surprising. He is getting to Julio. We said he could be hit with the left hook, and there it is again.
Maldonado having a very nice second round here in this scheduled 12-round championship go. And the crowd enjoying every minute of it. And there's the bell at the end of round number 2. Very impressive round for Vaquero Maldonado.
Well, that is a tremendous left hand he has. He showed it with both the hook and the jab, and a little bit of concern in the corner with Jorge Julio.
Some activity over there.
Maldonado enjoyed a brilliant round, too. Just dominated it. Several times landed the left hook. You saw that one there. And again, comes right back with the left hook. And he may have found a ticket to something very big for himself here tonight. He couldn't miss Julio with that left hook in round 2.
Interesting round, as you pointed out. Julio came out and seemed to pick up the pace almost from the moment the bell started. It looks like a cut right up high in the hairline, just high on the forehead of Maldonado. At any rate, Julio came out. The action became brisk at the start of round 2, and suddenly it was Maldonado that was having the best of it. Here we go, round number 3, scheduled for 12. Crowd leaning forward in eager anticipation now. Julio bouncing up and down. Maldonado right in front of him. Feet flat. Beats out that left. I didn't see their heads come together for that gash high on the forehead up in the hairline, but it's one that it's there, isn't it?
Yeah, but nobody complained, Tom.
No.
I don't think anybody else saw it either. We just kind of happened to notice that blood there.
Yeah.
It's not anything that's dangerous to him right now.
No, in fact, it isn't even bleeding much right now. You can hardly see any evidence of blood there. Julio doing a lot of faking upper body movement, bouncing around, sticking out that left hand.
Well, he's trying to throw the youngster off here now, Tom. He's trying to show him some different looks here in round number 3 and trying to get his rhythm thrown off. But I'll tell you, Maldonado really had his rhythm going in that second round.
Yes, he did.
He was getting better by the minute, and he came out here for the start of round 3 looking very confident.
And now Julio switches back and forth from the standard to the southpaw style. Now he's back in the orthodox style. Left hand by Maldonado. He worked it to the body. Caught one of his own across the top of the forehead. Julio trying to work the left to the body.
Yeah, did a nice job there, too. Stepping to his left, getting Maldonado a little off balance, and then delivering the punch. Again.
Nice head fake with the left to the body again.
Keep in mind that Jorge Julio, it has been his history in all the fights that we have seen him, is that he gets better as the fight goes along.
And not to belabor the point, but he does have the ability to come back from apparent defeat. He has been in the short end of 3-4 rounds in a row, and yet somehow manages to come back, regroup, and go on to win. He has had only one loss in his professional career, and that's to Junior Jones. And you know just how good Junior Jones can be.
He had Junior Jones down in that fight. Not even Marco Antonio Barrera can both.
No. Incidentally, Marco Antonio Barrera was scheduled to be on a card at Lake Tahoe in September, but we understand he may be taken out of that card because of a hand injury suffered in training. But we don't know for sure yet. Just some talk here around the Great Western Forum.
Julio is warming up here, Tom, and he's loosening up.
Isn't it?
Yeah, he's loosening up. He's getting home with his jab now and starting to throw some different punches and really have a varied attack here in round number 3. It just seems like all of a sudden.
And just when he was doing so well, he got nailed with that left hook again by Maldonado, didn't he? So round 3 coming to a close. Been a pretty good one for Julio. Maldonado's gotten a few in as well. We'll be back for round 4.
All of a sudden in round 3, it seemed like Jorge Julio got loosened up. Look at that right hand, a scorching right by Julio that staggered Maldonado momentarily, but Maldonado came back near the end of the round to perform well.
Landed a couple of pretty good left hands as he did in round number 2, which I thought he won. But I think he's down a point. Here we are in round number 4 now. This is for the WBO Bantamweight title. Maldonado in the black and Julio in the white, trimmed in gold, green, and blue.
Last fight for Jorge Julio was April 7th at the Pond of Anaheim. He scored a 4th-round KO over Felipe Castillo.
Well, he ran into another left hand, Rich. That short, chopping left hand thrown by Maldonado, and now he got nailed again. He threw a right of his own, but he's catching that left hand.
And Julio is getting his own right in with more and more frequency, and it's a good right, and it's a very quick right that an opponent has trouble seeing.
Bear in mind, out of his 36 victories, as opposed to 1 defeat, Jorge Julio has 28 knockouts. So he is indeed a prohibitive favorite, but can't this 19-year-old fight? He has shown us some nice action here in the opening 3 rounds, and here we are in round number 4.
Julio is showing more moves, more movement, trying to bring out the entire bag of tricks here against a very tough opponent.
He landed a right, and Vaquero Maldonado came back with a left.
I think Maldonado might feel that everything's going according to plan for him.
was interesting, and his pre-fight comments were the man who is best prepared will walk away with the title. Boy, this is a tough 19-year-old, isn't he, huh?
Yes, he is. Julio's being pressed and tested, but he's warming up now. He's getting better. A lot of movement, but his punches are beginning to get home now.
This is round number 4.
Very skilled fighter. Very smart is Jorge Eliecer Julio.
Takes a left, slips away from a couple of others. Overhand right. That high on the head, forehead gash that showed some blood a couple of rounds ago from Maldonado is not a factor in this at all. Nice exchange, both men getting a pretty good shot in there. Round 4 moving along. Scheduled for 12. And we're coming to the end of round number 4. We'll be back to see about round 5 in a moment. Bell brings him out for round 5. Rich Murata's got Julio up by 2 points, 39-37 after 4 rounds of boxing here for the WBO Bantamweight title. This is scheduled for 12. I'm going to tell you he gave Julio rounds 1, 3, and 4. Gave round number 2 to Maldonado. And I haven't even looked at the scorecard.
Maldonado needs to get that left hook cranked up again. He showed it so often in round 2, and he really was surprising Julio. I think that has spurred Julio into even more movement and a little bit more of a defensive posture, but at the same time, Julio's tried to open up, and he got nailed again.
Right hand lead hit him that time, Rich. Maldonado has got some weapons. Make no mistake about it. This 19-year-old youngster belies his age. He is a ring veteran that is well beyond 19. Started when he was 12.
Well, I'm happy.
He had 12 knockouts. I don't know if he's got all the punching power that a Julio would have, but this kid is a good fighter.
Yeah, I'm happy to see it, Tom, because, you know, when you get a kid who's just 19 and he's in the ring there with Jorge Julio, you wonder, geez.
Yeah, you fear for him, don't you?
But he's right in there.
Boy, is he ever. Julio threw some nice combinations, but Maldonado caught most of them right on the point of the blue glove.
And he's trying to really press the issue here, Maldonado.
Worked the left to the body and got caught with one to the face. Right hand lead is scoring for him.
The thing about Jorge Julio, he will throw punches from various angles. You may have him bent all the way down at the waist to one side or the other, and he can still come out of there throwing a punch. He can throw out of a right-handed stance or out of a left-handed stance.
Part of the beauty of this championship fight is that the number 1 and 2 contenders are in the ring. I mean, this is not somebody who is getting a title shot against a nobody. These are 2 very accomplished, talented fighters at 118 pounds, worthy of wearing the champion's belt. Now Julio switches to the southpaw style. At which do you think he's best, Rich, or?
Well, I think he's best, more effective out of the right-handed stance, Tom. I just think this is a continuation of him just trying to show Maldonado a lot of different looks to throw the kid off. But he's had a very nice 5th round, I think, Maldonado.
Well, I'll tell you, he's a man of a single-minded purpose. Maldonado, I don't think, is looking at the flash and glitter. He's very much involved in trying to win this fight. Very nice round for him, indeed. You might have just narrowed that scorecard of yours a little bit in this, the 5th round. It's scheduled for 12. We'll leave the exactness of the scoring to the judges, who are certainly able to do it. Here we are in round number 6. This is scheduled for 12. It has not been easy for either one of these two men. And the fight is very close, probably a point, 2 points. Right hand lead by Maldonado, finding a home.
It didn't take him even 10 seconds of this round to get that left hook in there again. He's flashing the right hand, too, now to Julio. I'm very surprised that left hand is so successful time and again against the veteran, the likes of Eliecer Julio.
Well, he switched to the southpaw for a moment. Now standing there squared up to Maldonado. Might have been reading too much into it. I thought for a moment he gave indication, Julio, that is, being kind of frustrated. And yet he would be the one who would frustrate the younger fighter, one would suppose.
Well, he's trying to, really pull out every trick that he can. I mean, he's feinting him. He's moving that head back and forth. Look at that shoulder movement there, bending to one side to try to throw a punch. I wonder what would happen if he just stood and fought against this youngster. It might be very difficult for him. It's difficult anyway.
Yes, it is. It is not an easy fight for Julio. Make no mistake about it. Got hit with the right hand. Raul Caiz is the third man in the ring. Very talented official, and he was cautioning him a moment ago about watching out for the headbutt. Notice how far away from the two men he is. He's not interfering with the action in any way, yet he's right on top of it should these two guys fall into a clinch. They haven't done much of that, and just as we speak of it, they do, and he steps in there quickly. They come apart. He cautions them about watch out for a headbutt. Nice job by Caiz. It's Maldonado who keeps pressing forward, Rich, in this fight, isn't it?
That's relentless. No funny business with Maldonado either. No hot dogging, no talking, no anything except just coming forward all the time, that look in his eyes, and throwing punches. And I'm telling you, he is in this fight. He's got a shot.
He is, yeah. Yeah, he's in this fight, no question about it. However, I caution you again, as we have seen in the past, and his record indicates, Jorge Julio, he's the man with a record of 36-1, has from time to time been apparently on the verge of defeat or losing round after round, and he just reaches back to some deep reservoir of strength, determination, whatever you want to call it, to pull out victory after victory. Coming to a close is round number 6. Been a good one for Maldonado again. Round 7 is next. Stay tuned.
Oscar Maldonado's making life a lot more difficult for Jorge Julio than he ever thought. Look at that left hook right on the button. Drove Julio back several steps. Through 6 rounds, this kid pulling off a tremendous performance. Julio, a huge favorite, but the forum is the house of upsets.
It certainly is. Here we are into round number 7 of a scheduled 12-rounder for the WBO Bantamweight title. Again, they bang heads, and again, Caiz comes in to talk to both fighters about it, cautioning them. No blood showing any place.
There must be some because they're taking him to the corner.
Oh, that's right.
And there you see the cut over the right eye. And that was definitely with a headbutt, Tom. And now we all know it.
And Caiz is indicating to the judges a headbutt. Now he's bringing Maldonado over for the doctors to look at. His is high up in the hairline, and Julio has got a cut right up alongside the eye.
And this is an official fight, remember now. We're past the point of where a fight would be a technical draw. This would go, if it goes to the scorecards, they would score it, and there would be an official decision rendered.
Right.
And that cut is bleeding pretty good now on the right eye of Jorge Julio, and it throws a whole new light now on this fight. And it means that all the points you can gather now are going to be very important.
Precious, more precious than one would have suspected earlier, or even imagined. So Julio is going to have to step up his attack, and he gives indication of doing just that. Meantime, Maldonado trying to cut the ring off, stay in front of his man, trap him against the ropes if he can. Left-right combination by Julio. Not easy to fight while you're on the move, Rich. You got to settle down and throw some shots. A little Ali shuffle there by Julio. Maldonado doesn't go for any of that. Julio kind of almost tripped himself up, didn't he?
Maldonado hardly cares, Tom. He is focused. He's got this guy in his sights.
Blood coming down the right cheek from out of a cut above the right eye of Jorge Julio.
I'm trying to think back of some of the biggest upsets we've seen here at the Forum, Tom, and we've seen some huge ones.
Well, I think the fight is no worse one way or the other than even right now in this the 7th round, but I tell you, Maldonado continues to press after Julio. And that, you know, good many judges, Rich, as you know, just aggressiveness and forcing the issue on a close round gives that guy the round.
You'll have to check and see between rounds, Tom, of whether a point has been deducted.
You think it might have been?
I saw. Well, Thais indicating that, but we'll wait and make that official.
You mean taking it away from Maldonado?
Right.
I saw that same gesture, but I didn't quite interpret it that way, but I can understand how it could have been.
Well, the thing is he only did it to one area of the ring. He was supposed to inform every judge of that, if that's the case, and he did not.
No. Seconds remain here in round number 7. Each round that passes in this 12-round scheduled title go, very important. And we've come to the end of round number 7, and now we've got blood everywhere. Down on the scorecard here on the table in front of us. The blood, of course, coming from...
Tom, I just asked referee Raul Thais. He says there is no point deduction,
All right,
an unintentional headbutt.
Good. All right. Well, there's a cut in the high up in the head of Maldonado as you look back at some of the action.
That was the clash of heads right there that opened the cut. Take another look at it. Comes right up. Maldonado does with the head. Julio was in there, though. Unintentional headbutt. No point deduction. There again, you see, that's where it was, right in the eye. Corner of the eye. This fight could end short of the distance, so you don't want to pace yourself too much in this kind of a situation now, even though you're only 7 rounds in.
5 rounds to go. The scorecard, Richmond Murata scorecard. Well, he's got Maldonado up a point. You gave him 3 rounds in a row, Rich, didn't you? Gave him the last 3 rounds, huh? Jorge Julio now in the southpaw stance. His beautiful white trunks now showing signs of claret. Streaks of red, blood, of course. Keep an eye on that cut over alongside his right eye and in the eyelid above it.
Julio getting much busier here at the start of this round, Tom.
Well, he's got to, and he's going to have to put a little snap into those punches. He's going to have to wake this 19-year-old up and have him recognize who he's in there with. Maldonado acts as this is just another workout. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Totally nonplussed by the whole thing. I've just loved the look in his eyes, Tom. He's just straightforward coming in.
He has shown no emotion. He is stoic-faced. The mustache belies his 19 years, makes him look older. This is just a 19-year-old kid, man. And he is just relentless in setting up as he battles one of the best fighters in this division, Jorge Julio.
As we told you in the pre-fight comments, he has shown dramatic improvement in recent fights, Maldonado. And he's probably putting forth the best fight of his career tonight.
It's amazing boxing this day and age, Rich. Years ago, a 19-year-old getting a title shot. Are you kidding me? He couldn't have got a ticket to the fight, could he? And now here they are, 19 years old and fighting for a championship.
Well, it's a rare occasion. We saw Mondo Ramos do it here in Los Angeles.
The youngest lightweight champion ever, but...
And of course, Wilfredo Benitez won a world championship as a teenager, too. He's one of the great teenage fighters of all time.
Maldonado not impressed with Jorge Julio or his record. busy left hand. Some nice combinations by Maldonado.
Maldonado has done almost nothing with his right hand, but that doesn't mean he can't win. If you recall, Simon Sarchateron in one of the huge upsets of all time here, when he knocked out Chiquita Gonzalez, just did it with the right hand all night. He kept hitting Chiquita with one right after another until finally Chiquita just broke. And Maldonado's trying to do that same thing with the left hand here to Julio.
Handful of seconds remaining as round 8 goes into the books in a very tough title scrap. We'll be back. Bell brings him out for round number 9. I don't know what they're waiting for. All right, set to go, and here they come. Been working feverishly on that cut above and alongside the right eye of Jorge Julio.
Jorge Julio won the WBA championship in 1992 with his 12-round decision over Eddie Cook, a big banger in his own right and a tough guy. Successfully defended it twice before losing to Junior Jones.
Also a tough guy. They've just exchanged a couple of solid right hands, Rich. And I don't know but what Julio backed up after getting tagged by the one thrown by Maldonado. Round number 9, scheduled for 12. And this fight is very much up for grabs.
Jorge trying to find his rhythm here, bouncing around a lot in this round. He's already switched from right-handed to left-handed.
Now he's back the other way again. Left to the body by Maldonado, stung. Remember the night we saw Marco Antonio Barrera battle fast Eddie Cook? Cook hit him a shot. I thought he was going to knock Marco Antonio Barrera into the first row. Barrera never even blinked. And the fight for Eddie Cook was just about over from that point on.
You know, each guy, it seems like almost on every exchange is getting shots in. This is going to be a very hard round to judge, Tom, if it continues like this.
Maldonado's in black and in the white, streaked with yellow and with gold and with green and with blood, is Jorge Julio.
Even more remarkable to me in this Maldonado performance tonight is the fact that he's never fought outside of Mexico. Yet he comes here to the United States, comes to the Great Western Forum where so many great Mexican fighters have fought. That has to awe you a little bit. That he has looked anything but awed by anything.
Amen.
The surroundings, where he's fighting, Jorge Julio.
Julio kind of stepping up the attack. He's landing some pretty good shots here in this, the 9th round, Rich. We're trying to.
Yes, and among them are good body shots by Julio.
Well, remember that Julio is very used to being in the closing rounds, the late rounds of tough fights. Maldonado has not always had that situation. Julio is an outstanding veteran who knows what it takes to win and has rallied time and time again in the past when apparently being down. Oscar Vaquero Maldonado. Bell for round 10, scheduled for 12. Neither man has been down. Considering the magnificent record of Jorge Julio, 36-1, 29 years of age at the top of his game, and the youth of Maldonado, 19 years of age, and only 17 wins out of 24 fights. And yet here he is, mixing it up with one of the best this division has ever had.
Be aware of the fact that Maldonado has only been past 8 rounds one time in his career. He should be Jorge Julio round.
Boy, I tell you, they are all but toe-to-toe on this one here.
And
now streaming down on the head, down toward the face, and down the right side of the face of Maldonado.
So he's cut in almost the same spot that Julio's cut.
Yeah. He's got a dandy on his right eye. Maldonado has.
One subtle change in this round. Julio is backing up Maldonado. That's the first time, really, that that's been happening.
Since round one, I think.
Now will Maldonado be thrown off by the sight of his own blood? He's cut pretty badly, Mo. May have the doctor look at that pretty soon. A lot of blood coming out of that.
Boy, and they are now for grabs up there, these two. Almost toe-to-toe. Forget the niceties about this one. Just grab onto whatever can hold you there, because it's a kitty by the door right now. And the crowd warming to this one as these two guys are just teeing off at each other.
I think Julio is having a very good round, but the crowd is trying to rally Maldonado, the underdog.
A 19-year-old from Ensenada against the former champion, WBA 118-pound title holder out of Colombia, now living in Los Angeles. Blood continues to flow. Nice left-right combination by Julio.
And now the fight is beginning to take on the normal look of a Julio fight, where he gets better as the fight wears along. And to me, he is the man who's really beginning to dominate the action now.
And I think you hit upon it, Rich, a few moments ago. I think that eye is bothering Maldonado more than he would like to let on. He keeps brushing at it from time to time. It is obviously on his mind. Make no mistake about it. Landed a pretty good left there. Julio took it, comes back with a combination of his own.
Now Julio really looking like his normal self and picking up in confidence, Tom.
10th round has been a big one for the man who was a former champion and wants to be again. As he backs Maldonado up, and the youngster comes back with a nice set of jabs, and what a round it was, and did the crowd love it. Doctor is coming into the ring to check the eye of Oscar Maldonado.
It's a very long cut. It's more than halfway across the eye.
Boy, I tell you, you talk, look at that cut. Oh, that is a dandy, isn't it? Wow.
Here's some of that action in the last round. Jorge Julio, look at that left hook right in the eye. That's the one that opened up the cut.
Yep.
Maldonado missing that right hand. Julio setting up, 2 jabs, the right hand. There's the left. The cut open, and you could see him wipe at the eye almost immediately.
Indeed.
And I think it discouraged him.
Well, it certainly bothered him. There's no question about it. His composure was shaken there with that cut. Scorecard, how about that? 95-95. Can't you find a round anybody won? Here they come for round number 11.
But I have given Julio the last 2 rounds,
yep.
And it appears to me as he is the man who is coming on now, and really in his normal fashion, striding hard for the finish.
Up they come, touch gloves. It has been a relatively clean fight between these two guys. Seldom have the two been in a clinch. Raul Caiz has worked a very nice fight. He's not had to do much with either one of the two fighters. Cautioned them repeatedly, though, about headbutts. But I tell you, men this small and this active, they get right in there with one another, and headbutts are just a way of life. It's all part of the territory. They've done a nice job in closing that cut on the eye of Jorge Julio, and no blood coming from the eye cut of Maldonado yet as they battle each other here in the 11th round.
One thing that has happened in the last 2 rounds, I mentioned the fact that Julio's been able to back up Maldonado now, which he was not able to do. And the reason he's being able to do that, Tom, is he's getting to him with the jab. He is pushing him back physically with his left jab, which he's finally started to use. You know, Julio's not posing anymore. He's not showing a lot of different looks and a lot of different wild movements. He's out there now, and he is punching.
Maldonado, to his credit, is answering in kind, but Julio has picked up the tempo and the intensity. Julio's in the white trunks, Maldonado in the black, crimson, gold, and that's a very nice left hand that Julio is suddenly exhibiting, Rich.
Yeah, it's an educated left. Real good work. If he opens it up with the jab, he can follow with the right hand right behind it.
I don't know, it maybe just just a guess, but it looks as though some of Maldonado's punches, some of the steam has gone out of him here. After the intensity of these last couple of rounds, there's a punch that's just a borderline low. But Thais is not talking about that. He was cautioning Maldonado about grabbing and holding.
Now the blood is beginning to come out of the eye of Julio again. This is turning into a bloodbath here at the Forum. Maldonado's only been 12 rounds one time, November of last year. Juan Torres in Tijuana, a 12-round decision victory for Maldonado.
My dry cleaner is anxiously wetting their lips, thinking about the coats that I'll be bringing covered with
We've gotten pretty well flattered here.
This is the 11th round. Remember, this is the 12-round WBO Bantamweight title scrap. Boy, this is really a competitive fight. I mean. The closing seconds of round number 11. Good jab by Julio. Maldonado comes back, answers in time. The exchange left. There's the bell. One more round to go. One more round to go. One more dance to dance. You can see that nasty cut along the eye of Jorge Julio.
And blood in the lips, too, leading from the mouth.
Yeah.
I think Julio has come on, though, and won the last 3 rounds and could be heading toward that championship. All right, let's take a look at some of the round 10 action now. Again, very brisk action. Looks like they bumped heads again. A good left hook there, though, by Julio, followed by a left hook counter punch.
And that opened
Maldonado.
the cut there, Rich. Remember?
See, there it goes.
Yeah. Back in the corner with young Maldonado, the 19-year-old. What a tough guy this cat is.
Well, neither of these guys is going to be sparring anytime soon.
No. And don't look for either one of them at the dance later tonight. Crowd responds to ring announcer Jimmy Lennon's announcement. Here they come for the 12th round. Double this title situation.
They didn't just touch gloves. They went up and hugged each other.
Yeah. Well, for the non-fighter, you have no idea how enervating this sport is and just how much goes out of a fighter.
That was a terrific right hand by Julio, and again a clash of heads that went along with it.
And all fighters really expect and demand, really, is respect from their counterparts.
Julio is punching hard. Not just crisply, but hard.
This is the 12th round to settle the WBO Bantamweight title. The NABO 118-pound champion is in black. His title not at stake tonight. The title is vacant. Neither man has been down. Those punches looked a little bit better than they were. Kind of slapping shots thrown by Julio, but hey, they may have registered with the judges. Blood again comes from the right eye of Maldonado as they exchange big-time shots. A right hand by Julio, a left to the body by Maldonado.
The left hooks are not coming with the frequency nor with the power from Maldonado that they did in the first half of this fight.
Julio with blood coming from his mouth. That along his eyes pretty well taken care of. While on the other hand, Maldonado has it streaming down the right side of his face. Good right hand by Maldonado. Almost stopped Julio in his tracks.
He wobbled him, Tom.
He is bobbing and weaving out there and fighting his way back. What a big-time punch Maldonado hit him with.
He really rocked Julio. And I believe it was the right hand this time, not the left hook.
It was. Suddenly Maldonado has found a new lease on life. The crowd on its feet roaring here as we are in the closing half minute of the 12th round.
And I thought Julio again was having a good round up to that moment. And now the judges are faced with a quandary. But I'll tell you this, I want to see Oscar Maldonado win or lose here tonight a lot more times at the Great Western Forum.
This is some cat. This is some fighter. This is some battle for the championship, and both men have acquitted themselves well. The crowd here at the Forum has loved every moment of it. Seconds away, there's the bell, and these two men bouncing up and down. What a fight. What a championship go. Two great fighters, one 19, the other 28. What a battle they had tonight. We'll be back with the decision. Who will wear the title belt for the WBO out of the ring tonight? We'll find out in a bit. All right, you can see both sides are congratulating their fighters. Watch the right hand. There's a nice uppercut and a right that followed, and
yeah, I missed that uppercut. It actually started with the left hook that rocked him, and then the right hand that followed wobbled Julio. And I think that was enough to give that last round to Maldonado and throw this decision into real question. I have the fight scored dead even, a draw, 114-114. But if Maldonado has pulled this off, I don't know that he has, but he might have, Tom. I think it would rank among the biggest upsets ever here at the Great Western Forum.
Well, Antonio Curtis, John Jackson of Forum Boxing over in the corner with Richard Maldonado. Jorge Julio's manager, his advisor, and now young Maldonado, a 19-year-old, has his youngster high in the air holding him up. And over on the other side, Jorge Julio with his family. I tell you, the ring is full of people. Jimmy Lennon Jr. knows what nobody else knows, who won this battle. And Jimmy Lennon is all set to go. Jimmy, tell us, who's the WBO Bantamweight champ?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a split decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Marty Denkin scores at 115 to 113 in favor of Oscar Maldonado. Judge at ringside, Larry Rosaria scores about 115 to 113, Jorge Eliecer Julio. Judge at ringside, Vince Delgado scores about 116 to 112 in favor of the winner of the WBO Bantamweight Championship of the World, Jorge Eliecer Julio.
Jorge Julio has won the WBO Bantamweight crown. The crowd does not necessarily agree with it. A split decision victory for the new champion. Will be back. Well, the decision, a split one, went in favor of Jorge Julio. The crowd not necessarily in favor of that, and they've been throwing a lot of garbage into the ring.